Hey you, it's Olivia. Here we are in my beautiful kitchen that I share with my roommates. We're going to be going over how I do like a quick little 3-plate meal prep with some of the nice cheap food that I got. Of course, this is not literally my entire $40 grocery haul because I don't cook everything for a whole week in one setting. Even if it can technically sit in the fridge for that long, it just kind of loses its taste to me after 4 days. Also, just a little housekeeping note, I did want to let you know that I had a cuter outfit planned out for this video, but a little shocker here, I did actually go to a restaurant. It was to celebrate my third video over 1,000 views. Thank you so much. If you want to hear more about what happened to my planned outfit, stick around until the end for my little Marvel style post-credit scenes. But otherwise, feel free to drop comments down below about the outfit I do have or anything you want, really. My hair looks cute to me, but we're gonna need to put it up because I'm about to start cooking. So let's go. And here we are, messy bun for the win today. I feel like the ponytail looks pretty cute, but also I feel like it's overused. That's another thing you're free to comment on down below if you would like. But you know, let's just go ahead and get right over to the ingredients. All right, so the goal today is, like I said, to make 3 different plates. We have some chicken breasts, and the expiration date was technically, I think, like a day or 2 ago, but it still should be totally fine to use and cook because it stayed refrigerated. Anyways, all these chicken breasts are going to make 2 different plates. So one is going to be a mole dish, and then the other one is going to be just like a stir fry. Unfortunately, somebody else has eaten all the eggs this morning and the stores aren't open yet, and I'm like, we're just gonna do this. So it's just gonna be chicken with some sweet peas and onion, and then of course the seasonings. And I haven't put up like the soy sauce and the hot sauce that I put in there, but I do add those in as well. And this and the garlic is kind of the base, and of course the oils. And then, so that's 2 of our plates already. And the third plate is just going to be a red beans and rice dish, which is going to be the other half of this onion and some more of this garlic base, and then some celery. If you didn't see my last grocery haul, you can look at it over here. And basically what happened was we had a very strict $40 budget, and that did not allow for us to get what we call the Trinity vegetables for red beans and rice. So there is no bell peppers, just onion and celery. So we're going to go ahead and start up the rice. One of my regular commenters, like my top regular commenter, told me something about washing or rinsing the rice first. So we're going to try that this time. Thanks, Freedom 101. So this is about 2.5 cups of rice measured out. We'll go ahead and rinse now. Okay, and then I was told to leave it soaking here for about 10 minutes, so we can chop some chicken while this soaks. Okay, and I just have to say, cooking with meat actually freaks me out, like cutting it up and everything. For a while, when I left my parents' house, I actually was basically, I mean, I wasn't vegetarian, but I was cooking full vegetarian because I just hated the idea of like chopping up meat and cooking with meat so much. It freaked me out. And at some point, I changed, but it's still not my most favorite thing. I mean, oh my gosh, this has a bone. I know it was a living creature and it has a bone, but it just freaks me out, y'all. All right, let's start cutting this up. So for the, obviously this is only one of the breasts that I have. Basically I'm just going to try to make it even of like smaller chunks that we're going to use for the stir fry, and then larger chunks that are going to be for the mole. And it actually took me a hot minute, but for movie magic, we are just going to say here is the larger chunks and the smaller chunks. The rice is about ready, so I'm going to go ahead and strain it now. Alright, so I mentioned this in my last cooking video, but this is 2.5 cups of rice, which would usually by standard measurements be about 5 cups of water, but I don't want to make it too runny, so we're going to do a little less than 5 cups, probably like 4 3/4 cups. This rice has got me a little disappointed, to be honest. It's kind of mushy, but we'll do our best to make it work. I'll try to keep it uncovered and let it dry while we do some other things. Besides the little thing with the rice, this is actually going pretty good so far. So now we're going to do the mole. So for that, I'm going to turn this up to high. And what I learned about working with these mole pastes is that you kind of want to dissolve it first, because otherwise you end up with these weird awkward chunks in between the chicken. So what I'm going to do is, honestly, what we have left is probably about what we need for this last little batch. So I'm just going to dump it all in here. This stuff is really messy, oh my gosh. And I'll also take a little break from this outside camera to just show you how it looks in the water, because it's literally just a big old chunk and you have to boil it and break it apart. Here, I'll take a little cut, wash my hands and show you. So yeah, if you can see, it's literally just big old chunks of paste that we break apart as the water starts to boil. And here it is, all broken up and ready for the chicken. Alright, so now that you got that in-depth look, we're going to add the chicken because the sauce is ready. So we'll just kind of dump this right in before the water gets too hot and boiling so it doesn't splash up on me. Whoop. And we'll just stir that together and bring it to a boil. And I'm going to probably keep it boiling for a good 3 to 4 minutes so it cooks the chicken really good. Then we'll take it down to a simmer so that the texture of the sauce gets how we want it. And while we're waiting on these things to happen, we can go over and chop the vegetables. So the mole is done. So that's 1 plate down and 2 more to go. We'll portion out this rice, or whatever you want to call it. It's like a rice mixture now. We're gonna do a little less than a third of it for the mole, and then the other two almost halves are going to be for the fried rice and the red beans and rice. Alright, so let's start portioning out the rice, or this sticky stuff that I'm gonna call rice. So like I said, usually you do the mole with a little bit of rice, so I'm gonna just put some chunks in here, maybe one more, and that should be enough to eat at least some of the mole with. And then one of my roommates had made rice too, and hopefully they'll be down to share. Alright, so we've got that, and then for the rest of this stuff, oh, one of the kitties just got in. Oh, I'm gonna put just one more here, and then I'll put that way off to the side so it's out of our way. The other two halves are gonna go equally into the fried rice and the red beans and rice. But before we put the rice in there, we're going to start all the other little ingredients, which I have prepped up over here. So let's see. Turn both of these on to about a high medium. And so for the fried rice, I always like to use sesame oil, but we don't have much left, so I'm just putting what I can to add some flavor, and then we're going to spray the rest on so it's not too greasy. Alrighty. If you see me trip, it's because there's a kitty under me now. Alright. I am spraying it kind of thick, but it's still just not as thick as putting straight oil, so we're going to do that. And then the ginger and the garlic. Last time we talked about how with ginger and garlic paste you really want to try to measure it out because it can get really strong. So here we go. A lot of this gets kind of diluted by the rice, kind of like when you're cooking with potatoes. So there's that with the garlic on this side, and then the ginger. And usually, honestly, this is about the same time you can throw the onions in because they're kind of part of this base flavor. So we'll take about half of our onions and just put that right in here. And while this continues to heat up, we can start making our other base. Keep heating up. And now we're going to make the base for the red beans and rice. So for the red beans and rice, I am going to just add straight oil, just some vegetable oil. I feel like it adds a little bit nicer of a flavor if you can use, oh gosh, what is it? Olive oil, but that's expensive, so we just have this big tub of vegetable oil. Liberal into here. I try to be a little bit more conservative with it when we're cooking it with meat, but since we're only using beans today, I don't have to worry about the added grease from the meat. Just put onions, and we're gonna give both of these a little bit of time to simmer. In a lot of my Indian cooking that I like to do, the instructions always simmer until it doesn't smell raw anymore. And if that doesn't make sense to you, I understand why. But if it does, that's a good reference. It makes sense to me. Alright, we'll give this a second to simmer. Alright, so now that we've got both of these simmering pretty nice, I am going to spray a little bit more oil on the fried rice portion so that we can put down the chicken without it burning. So here's our little chicken. Right in here. There we go. And we'll just let this chicken cook. For the red beans and rice portion, I'm going to go ahead and throw in the celery at this point so it can start to soften. The beans and the rice are kind of the final touch. So let's see. Here's our celery. Before the chicken gets too cooked, we're going to go ahead and throw on the seasonings, which the seasonings for this are pretty simple. I mean, we already have the ginger and garlic at the base, so I literally just do soy sauce and gochujang. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Please correct me if you know the right way. Or this is actually just straight sriracha. There we go. So we'll let all these things cook down a little bit. Alright, so we're still working on the chicken, but the red beans and rice mix is actually going really well, so it's about time to throw in the red beans actually. And then we're going to throw in all the beautiful spices. So my fried rice dish is pretty simple, especially this week, but red beans and rice is not red beans and rice without spice, right? So literally, I'm just gonna grandma cook in all these different spices. I'm gonna go over with you what each one is. Some cayenne pepper, and then we've got paprika, just a touch of that, and let's see, some chili powder, then a little bit of ground cumin. Oh, we gotta be careful with this one because it doesn't have a little stopper. Let's see. And then a little bit of oregano and rosemary. Put a little bit more over the top when I add the rice in, just because again, rice kind of dilutes everything down, but this is just to get us started. And this is actually the rosemary. I haven't opened it yet. Look at that real quick. And the chicken. There we go. And then we can add the rice or, you know, whatever it is, into the red beans and rice, and the red beans and rice will be pretty much done. Then we'll just have to finish up this piece with the stir fry. Stir all this up. Just gonna scoop like about half of the rice into this red beans and rice and let it heat and mix with everything. You can see how the texture kind of turned out. I'm disappointed, but it's okay. That's actually one of the reasons, if you saw my shopping video, that I was saying getting this kind of rice is kind of a sacrifice. This is one of the reasons it is. It's a lot harder for me to cook it to the right texture than jasmine or basmati. Alright, so we'll leave that be, and we're going to spice the rice a little bit. And actually it looks like before we spice the rice, we can separate off this chicken a little bit and put our peas in. One thing too that I'm probably about to make a cut is that whenever I'm cooking with chicken and stuff like that, so much water comes out, and I don't want my rice to be wet, so I'm going to drain this for a second, and we'll be right back. Rice down a little bit on the red beans and rice, and we're going to add in our peas. I don't love peas, but this is going to help bulk it up a little bit. Alright. So actually, I managed to break it up a little bit. Let me see. Ooh, it's so bright, I don't think you can actually see it, but there's my beautiful glowy rice. Peas are mostly melted down at this point because they're straight frozen if you didn't notice the box. We'll just go ahead and push them over with the chicken. Alright, so now we're going to add the rice into the fried rice. And same idea, I'm trying to get it a little bit crispy on one side. That's how I like it. Although we're kind of fighting the texture of this rice today, but we'll do our best. Yeah. Same thing that I seasoned the chicken with. We're just gonna kind of put it all over, especially on the rice, some soy sauce and a little bit more sriracha. And we'll give that rice a second to cook, or to get crispy, while we spice the beans and rice. And that reminds me, I wanted to put a little bit of red pepper on this fried fried rice. I put a lot of red pepper on there, but it's gonna make it some flavor. Speaking of a lot of things in flavor, I'm not doing it to the stir fry rice because there is a lot of soy sauce in there. But because this meal isn't only for me, and my roommates are always talking about how they want more salt and things, we're gonna add a little bit of salt to the red beans and rice. And then we'll just go through all of our spices again. A little bit more cayenne. A little bit more chili powder. Touch more paprika. And some more cumin that we have to be careful with. And then the oregano and rosemary. And I didn't, sorry, the cats are over there fighting. Anyways, I didn't add any black pepper earlier, but it is definitely a staple, so we'll grind up lots of good black pepper in here. Actually, when I was first learning to make my own blackening seasoning, that was one of the things I would do. I would just put so much black pepper and then add a couple of other little things, you know. Here we go. That's beautiful and ready to be mixed up now. And this rice over here is almost ready to be turned. Let's see. Can also come off of heat. And look at that, we're already done. I'll portion everything out and show it to you over on the table. All right, here we go. So I took my hair down. It's kind of a mess, but it's also kind of a vibe. So we're gonna just go with it. But here is the final product of everything packaged up. So this is the mole with the rice, and then we have a full container of red beans and rice, half red beans rice, half stir fry, and then a full container of stir fry. And this is for 2 people. I think it will probably last us probably at least 3 or so days. To be honest, this is gonna be like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so it might not go as far as I'm hoping. But we'll just have to make another grocery haul when this is all said and done. For now, I'm looking forward to a little pastry that one of my roommates brought me from the Mexican bakery. So that'll be great. I hope that you enjoyed this video today. I think this is like my 3rd cooking video, and I did want to just make a little PSA to you that things have been pretty much real time up until now, but this is actually being filmed on a Tuesday to be posted on a Sunday. And basically I'm trying to start batching things out because I'm about to go on a trip internationally, and I can't be doing real time all the time and staying consistent for you. So you'll still be seeing me, but it will be a slightly past version of me. Hope that's okay. We'll keep having fun with this. You go out there, and I'm posting this on Sunday, but I don't know when you'll be watching it. So go out there and have a beautiful rest of whatever day you're having, and a good night. And thanks so much for tuning in. Hope to see you again next time. Bye. Oh my gosh, I was so excited for this that I forgot about our little bonus scene. Hey internet bestie, I'm gonna come close for you. So if you didn't already know, if you stick around till literally the very end after the credits, you get to be one of my internet besties. So congratulations, new internet bestie, if you didn't know about that. And thanks for coming back, existing internet bestie, if you already knew to stick around till the very end. I know I said I was going to tell you about what happened with my clothes and my outfit, right? So now we're going to talk about it because we're besties here, right? So I'm not going to lie to you. Yes, I'm doing all these meal preps and everything, but I was just so happy that I had, starting yesterday, so I'm filming this on a Tuesday, so like Monday, I hit my 3rd video that had over 1,000 views, and I just told Ishmael, sorry, it took me a second to think of his screen name, But I told Ishmael, I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to celebrate. There's this Korean barbecue that we really like to go to, and it is totally a treat. We hadn't been in quite a while, and so I was like, okay, we have to go to the Korean barbecue just to like celebrate and everything. I would have loved to have gotten some footage for you, but the thing is, it's on a 2-hour time limit because it's all you can eat. Like, there's literally like a buffet of all the meats and everything you could possibly want, and it's hot pot too. So we wanted to just take advantage of those full 2 hours, and I knew I've already learned that whenever I vlog something, it takes twice as long, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna enjoy my food and I'll just tell you about it, and you can believe me with how good it is. Anyways, getting back to my outfit. So I was wearing that outfit to go out to the Korean place too, because I was planning to start filming right after, right? And we had a really nice waiter. You know, Ishmael doesn't really speak English, but the waiter we realized was also Mexican, so we started, you know, chatting with him and everything, and he was going to take the grill apart at the end of our meal. And I don't know, he kind of fumbled and he ended up knocking my drink into my lap. So I was just soaked, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be wearing this. This is going to become laundry. You probably noticed a lot of cuts because I'm getting so rambly. Oh my gosh. I'm ready to do some dishes and go to bed. Even though we're internet besties, I know that you've got other things to do. I don't want to keep you too long. So you go out there and make today beautiful for yourself and those around you. And I'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye.